Hi! Which business can survive and even thrive during a war? We have already talked on this channel about businesses that won't survive the war. And now, let's talk about those that will feel even better during the war than before it. If they can adapt, of course. By the way, this is the Adapted channel. If you want to develop a business or your skills in a field that has the highest chance to survive during the war or any other crisis, watch this video to the end. Of course, the military industry prospers most during a war. We won't stop on this most obvious option. I will start with the story of my own business. I have been doing garden furniture for 10 years, specifically hanging chairs and garden swings. This is a seasonal product. In Ukraine it sells only from April to July. And then, at the end of February 2022, a full-scale war begins. I and many other people have to evacuate to Western Ukraine. In those months, nothing was clear. It was impossible to plan your life for more than one day ahead. Kyiv was partially surrounded, and in the east, entire cities were slowly being erased from the face of the earth. Of course, I didn't even think about selling garden swings. It was obvious to me that nobody needed them right now. And then, in April, a woman calls me. She says, "I want to order a garden swing. How much is delivery?" She found our website and my number even without ads, because they were all turned off. I think probably someone in the safe region of Western Ukraine still needs garden swings. I ask her, "Why do you want to swing delivered?" And she names a city in eastern Ukraine. It was just a few dozen kilometers from the front line, where the heaviest fightings was happening. I was in total shock. I say, "Are you sure you need a swing there right now?" She says, "I'm not sure yet, because the front line is very close. Maybe we will have to run away from here, but I really want a swing." I convinced her not to rush and not to order the swing yet. Then another call. This time it really was a man from Western Ukraine. But I asked him the same thing. "Are you sure you need a swing at a time like this?" He answered, "I hope the war ends soon, but even if it doesn't, we still need to keep living somehow." After these two calls, I decided to activate the business, and we had a very productive sales season. Because of the war, the prices of our products went up a lot, but even so, the demand stays high. And it helps a lot that we started selling abroad. By the way, if you want to order a premium quality garden swing or a hanging chair for yourself, I will leave the link to our website under the video. Conclusion: if your business was needed for a normal life before the war, it will still be needed. Of course, I'm talking about people who have already covered their basic needs. Those who no longer think only about survival, but start thinking about at least some kind of normal life. Now let's discuss more specific examples. But there is one more conclusion related to the previous one. The wealthier average client of your business is, the more chances your business has to survive. Why? Rich people have more resources to avoid being on the edge of survival, even during a war. These are the people who will continue to think about living a normal life. They will still have the money for it. Again, this will only work if living a normal life in your area is actually possible during the war. Only then will rich people stay there, instead of running first. Now I will highlight a few specific areas where work will be successful, even despite the war, using Ukraine as an example. Everything related to energy independence. Ukraine's energy system is under constant attack. This winter is especially hard. In January and February 2026, in the apartment where I live, we have electricity for about 2 or 3 hours a day. That's why everything related to energy efficiency and energy independence has a huge demand. People buy small power banks for phones and huge batteries for whole houses. They buy inverters, generators, install solar panels, and change heating systems. For example, they install gas or wood-burning heaters. Imagine this: Ukrainians bought portable power sources with total capacity of over 3 gigawatts. This is equal to the power produced by a whole nuclear power plant. And of course, electricians are now living their golden times. The prices of their services are very high. The construction industry. With constant shelling and destruction, there is an increased demand for construction and repairs. Building materials are growing in price. This field is already thriving in Ukraine, but its peak is still ahead. Maybe you heard that many countries really want to help rebuild specific regions of Ukraine after the war. Why? Besides politics, it's a great chance to bring their construction companies and industry into a market with endless demand for years to come. I also want to highlight the demand for builders. We already mentioned electricians, but the demand for other specialists in construction is just as high. My friends who do tile work have a waiting list for 4 or 5 months, and their prices are huge. Besides high demand, there is another reason for this. Many men left their jobs in this field because they had to go to war. This means there is a huge shortage of skilled workers. Real estate. The real estate market during war deserves its own video, and I think we will make it soon. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel. In this video, I want to use my own example to show why I believe in this field. If you watched the video about businesses that won't survive, I mentioned our business in the tourism industry there. We provided various services for foreigners who came to Ukraine. Sometimes we worked with real estate, helping to buy, rent or manage property for foreigners. When the war started, we had to adapt and use our experience in real estate to move our work to where there was demand. So we created a small real estate agency, and it is still working successfully. I will tell you more in a separate video, but briefly, people continue to buy and sell homes. No matter what the times are, you always need a place to live. In big cities, especially away from the fighting zones, the market for both buying and renting shows huge growth. Many people sell their homes because they don't plan to stay in Ukraine. And surprisingly, even more people are ready to buy homes in Kyiv and safer cities moving within the country. That's why real estate agencies and experts will have plenty of work even during a crisis. Interestingly, lately we have seen a lot of interest from foreigners in buying real estate in Ukraine. If you are also interested in buying property in Kyiv or the suburbs, contact us using the link in the description. We will be happy to help you. Specialized legal services. Martial law creates a new legal reality. The state significantly limits the rights and freedoms of citizens. New obligations and regulations appear. In these conditions, lawyers and law firms that specialize in narrow fields have huge demand, specifically lawyers in mobilization issues. Not everyone wants to be mobilized because they see it as a violation of their freedom. On the other hand, those who do become soldiers and their families also need constant legal help. In fact, a new massive category of the population with special rights is being formed in the country. Right now in Ukraine, professional lawyers who advise people about military service and mobilization are overloaded with work. The medical field. This field usually thrives under any conditions because health is one of the highest values for people. I want to highlight a specific medical direction that becomes especially in demand in regions under martial law: rehabilitation. This includes physical rehabilitation, recovery after injuries, and prosthetics for lost limbs. Psychological help. During a war, the entire country is under constant stress. People develop and suffer from various disorders. Essentially, almost everyone begins to need some kind of psychological and emotional support, making specialists in this field extremely sought after. By the way, among the preparations for a possible war, natural disaster, or any other crisis, medical preparation holds a key place because it is the foundation of your survival. We will talk about this many times on this channel. So, taking this opportunity, I want to draw your attention to a carefully prepared checklist of medications and other medical supplies that we have prepared for you at the link below this video. Check it out and see if you have everything from that list in your emergency kit. This list is backed not only by theory, but by real survival practice in war conditions. And if you just want to support our channel, I will also leave a link for donations under the video. Always be ready and stay safe. See you!